we invite on stage Mr. Arjun JEGER, co-founder and director, Digital Content Sri Lanka. He will be speaking upon customer engagement using content marketing.
Good evening, everyone. You guys can see the screen? Or not yet? No? Okay. Yeah? Can see? Great. Okay. So this is Arjun here from Sri Lanka. I'm in Mumbai actually after 11 years. The last time I was here, I went back with a heavy heart. I was here for the World Cup finals in Mumbai. Right? Unfortunately, we lost the match, but here I'm back in Mumbai after so many years. It's been nice to be here. So today's topic for me is customer engagement using content marketing, right? So how I found inspiration in content marketing. So let me tell you the story. So I used to work for media. Earlier I was working in a leading newspaper company in Sri Lanka. Then I joined leading electronic media network in Sri Lanka. So over 10 years, I actually realized somewhere in 2015, 16, why is media creating all the content, right? Why it's always media creating the content, and then you have all the brands come and, advertise, or in other words, piggyback ride, brought to you by, sponsored by. You have web banners, pop-ups. So why not create a company who can create content on behalf of brands? And that's how Digital Content Sri Lanka was born, with just 3 people. And over the period of last little over 5 years, we're a team of more than 35 full-time members. And then also we've also invested in a few other strategic business units, because earlier presentation, our colleague was talking about so many things in digital. It's like an ocean, right? From content, influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, data, mobile marketing, and today we're talking about NFT, to talking about metaverse. So for that reason, we set up separate strategic business units. So that's how our network works. So we have a separate agency for influencer marketing, a separate agency for writing, producing good scripts, social media management, and then also for virtual events, and of course development of e-commerce platforms and performance marketing, right? So that's the agency. And just before I get into the content marketing and what I'm going to talk, just a quick show reel about some of our work for you guys to know what we do. So that's our company, based in Colombo. So what is content marketing? Content marketing is a marketing technique in just very layman language, right? So it's definitely part of your marketing strategy, part of your digital marketing strategy, right? Importance of content marketing. As you all know, today's human attention lifespan has declined, right? We come for awards, there's somebody talking, even the few minutes you want to focus, it's so hard, right? You want to go out, come in, there are phone calls coming in. So grabbing somebody's attention is not easy, right? We all understand that, right? So customers today are very smart, right? They don't want to, they want to decide what they want to watch, right? And they decide what kind of content they like to see. So it's our job, right, as marketers, as branding guys, experts, we need to make sure we place the right product, the right service, or create the brand awareness in the right kind of content our customers are most likely to engage with, right? So I'm just going to get into a lot of practical things what we've been doing, and also some of the global work what's happening. So yeah, types of content marketing. Theory is boring. Seeing is believing. So I don't believe in having too many presentations, putting up pointers, and explaining in details, right? Number one, content platform. Number one is content platforms, right? So I'm just taking an example. Back in Sri Lanka, we have a YouTube channel called Ape Amma. Ape Amma means like our mother, right? Or my mom. So this lady, she's 60 or 60 years plus. She runs a YouTube channel which has 2.4 million or almost 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube, right? The reason why I'm talking about her is Sri Lanka, again, just to explain, it's a small country. Unlike India, we have a total population of 21 million people, out of which I think we are a little over 50 or 55% active internet users in Sri Lanka. So for a market like that, having 2.5 million subscribers on YouTube is huge. So with this lady, what the kind of content, how we use content marketing, right? Because she's a lady who does a lot of cooking videos. She talks about different dishes, how it's done. So a lot of new people who want to get into cooking, they follow her, especially the ladies, the professional women, executives, all of them, because she does it in there's a stylish way, right? And she's 60 plus. So what we do in terms of content marketing, we strike a deal with people like her, so many other content creators. We say, okay, you're making good food, we're creating a lot of content. Why can't we place a hand wash brand there, right? And you just have to say, just before you start anything, cleanliness, you talk about that, and there is a branding, right? And then she makes something, oily, say, I of course use this particular detergent or this particular thing, and there's a quick focus on that product, right? And because content marketing to me is how much you create that, plant that brand again and again on the customers or the viewers' minds, right? I'll talk about another example. This is something we did back then. So we had a client who's into a skincare and hair care brand, right? I have a little case study video, but before that, I'll just set context. This brand, we just created a YouTube channel, right? And very generic content. So every Thursdays, we put out a video, right? We just didn't give up. 10 months down the line, we just had 1,000 subscribers. 15 months, still about 5,000 to 6,000 subscribers. 17th month, we got 10,000 subscribers. In less than, or just little over a year, we had 100,000 subscribers. And then right now the channel has, as you can see, it's underlined about almost 190,000 subscribers on the channel in less than 3 years, right? Got the silver plate, all of that. And this platform belongs to the client, but to the audience who's watching it, it's a generic name, Hello Lady Sri Lanka, right? So we create a lot of content for the everyday girl in Sri Lanka. It talks about grooming, fashion tips, because before we went to our client, we did a research. We got on the streets. We asked the girls out there in different parts of Colombo, like, what do you do? What kind of tips do you see? And all of them were like, we don't have a proper platform in Sinhala. We watch Femina or Vogue, or we look into other platforms. So that's when we realized, okay, why not create a platform for this brand to indirectly plant all their brands, right? So when there's a room tour, it's all their products. What's in my handbag? There you have their face washers and all of these things, right? So this, and we all know once you hit a subscribe button on YouTube, you're not going to unsubscribe, right? Unless and until it's really intrusive. So also, this particular client was getting into a lot of controversies back in the days due to some regulators and, because of the competitors. So there's a case study here. Just watch that for you guys to understand.
In 2019, a misinterpretation of the regulator's directive leads to a sudden blanket ban of advertising on traditional media for fascia. This was primarily due to a specific ingredient which was wrongly believed to be harmful. In a category that heavily depends on constant communication and interaction with the consumer to drive TOM awareness, this served as a huge blow to a young brand such as fascia. All this intertwined had an adverse impact on sales performance and the business growth for the brand, and the brand faced its worst slump in its history. Something had to be done immediately to arrest the decline for the brand. Even though the need of the hour was to clear the brand name and restore positive belief amongst key stakeholders and the consumer, we decided to think deeper in creating a more meaningful connection with our audience. We wanted to influence our consumer in a productive and beneficial manner. In a media environment that disseminates a strong flow of information on beauty and personal care, we realized that there is a big gap in access to local content in the lifestyle space. It also showed that our consumer used alternative media like YouTube to access South Asian and Western content merely for the lack of better options. This discovery birthed the Hello Ladies platform, a partnership between Fascia Premium and the YouTube channel, which became the only digital hub that creates and shares authentic and original local lifestyle content, specially for everyday Sri Lankan women. The brand tied up with popular and credible celebrities, influencers and opinion leaders in creating rich, useful, relevant and meaningful content. The platform became a fan favorite instantly, resulting in better, more authentic audience engagement for the brand, establishing a loyal fan base and increasing sales. This helped build valuable equity and respect for the brand during a challenging phase. Hello Ladies continues to disseminate local lifestyle content for Sri Lankan women, all easily available through the tap of a screen.
So recently we've actually gone into e-shop, merchandise, all of that, with this content platform, right? So that is the power of creating the right content and being consistent, because something what we realized is with YouTube, the more you give YouTube, the more they're going to give you back, right? Because they are heavily dependent on other people's content, right? So they keep up opening up a lot of new doors, new areas, dashboards, all of that. This is another classic example. So we also created another platform called, content platform called biker.lk. So this is to gather all the bike enthusiasts in the country. So what we do is we talk about, how to change the air filter, about 10 things you should do before buying a second-hand bike. And we get different influencers who are into biking. So we know whoever is most likely to engage with bikes, who is owner of a bike, is definitely watching our platform, right? And who is our client? It's Sri Lanka's #1 motorcycle tires, right? No matter what bike you use, indirectly we tell them, this is the tire you need to go for, your grips, all of that. And again, it helps with, everything else what my earlier colleague who spoke about SEO and all of that, because you put the hyperlinks, all of that, and then it also helps in your SEO, and then you gather all of that data, and we use it for our remarketing campaigns, right? I'll get into that in my next set of slides. So this is again another platform, content platform called MyCraft, for one of the Sri Lanka's leading stationery brands. So this is more like you would have seen the arts and craft videos, the DIY stuff, 5 minutes craft, where we have different videos created, and it's all subtle branding, and everything we do, like how do you create a pencil holder through used crayons, things like that, it's all stationery products. And again, what we do is just to keep the costs, because again, everybody has a problem with budgets, right? So you don't have the luxury of spending a lot of money on, creating content. So we create the entire year's full of content, even up until Christmas, right, in 2 to 3 days. So all we do is we have a kitchen studio. We have this girl who is the hand, she uses a hand, the camera is on top. Just change the nail paints so the videos look fresh. And you produce around 10 to 15, 20 different kind of content pieces in 2 days. Keep it ready for the next 3 to 4 months, right? So that is what, how we keep our costs low, and also, make sure that every video I'll get in the slides how we track the performance and things like that. So this is another platform for property, right? We work with, again, our client who won the awards today, Prime Lands, who's Sri Lanka's leading real estate company. So it's all about property, soil testing, because at the time of typically when somebody is 20, 25 years old and you're in a job, your parents come and say, time to invest, do that. So mostly people go and buy lands, or, they invest in some sort of property. So there, we again talk about everything to do with property, vastu, things like 10 things you should do before buying a land, how do you do your legal advice. So in very layman language, and we know everybody is likely to engage in this is somebody who's into, real estate, or who's looking to buy a land or an apartment. So we say, no matter what you do, you have to go to the trusted brand very indirectly. So according to the audience, they just think this is an independent publisher who is running this platform, right? So that's one. And then again, talking about number 2 is winning that heart share, right? High engaging content. So we all know about, you guys know, you all are the experts here in branding, so we know about market share in terms of, the highest sales, the volume of sales, you can decide your market share, then the mind share, of course, top of the mind brand recall. But the third thing is heart share. So as I said, I mean, heart share is not something you can really easily get it just because you spend money, right? As you all know, you advertise on Facebook, you put money, you can get your views, right? But getting someone to comment on your video, type 2 lines, it's not easy, right? Because I don't comment on anything, I just put a thumbs up or, I put a reaction. But getting somebody to share your video, it is not easy. Getting somebody to copy that URL and put it on WhatsApp and forward it to some group, it's not, money can't do that. It's content only can do that, right? How strong your content is, then the money will give that boost, right? But just because you create some, random video, it's not going to work, right? I'll just show you a classic example, what we did for Children's Day recently. I'm sorry, it's in our language in Sinhala, but just read the subtitles if you all can. I'm sorry about the people at the back. I don't know whether you'll be able to watch the subtitles, but this is what it is.
මම රතු පාටට ගොඩක් ආසයි. ඒ හින්දා රතු පාට එළිය වටලා තියනවට මම ගොඩක් කැමතියි.
සුපුන් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න පුතේ. ඇයි මට බොරු කිව්වේ? ඔයා රතු පාටට කැමති කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයිනේ.
ටීචර් අපේ තාත්තා ට්‍රැෆික් ලයිට් තියෙන තැන් වල හඳුන් ගුරු විකුණනවා. කොළේ එළිය වටනම වාහන හඳුන් ගුරු ගන්න නැතුව හයියෙන් යනවා. ඒ වෙලාවට තාත්තා දුකින් බලන් ඉන්නව මන් දැකලා තියෙනවා. ඒකයි මම රතු එළියේ වැටෙනවට කැමති ටීචර්.
බොහෝ දරුවන් ළඟ අපට නොකී කතාවක් තියෙනවා. ඔබ කිසිම කෙනෙක් කිසිම නොකී ඒ කතාවට අහුම්කම් දෙන්න. විශිෂ්ට මතු පරපරක් වෙනුවෙන් මහජන බැංකුවේ සිසු උදාන වෙතින් මතක් කිරීමක්.
Sorry. Thank you. So that was one of our clients who's the second leading bank in Sri Lanka, right? So it's the challenge what you guys should ask your agencies or ask your team is, will I share this content piece with 4 others, right? Is it worth that, question? If that works, content will work, right? So this is not just doing one-off piece every quarter and just, waiting is not going to work, right? It has to be consistent. You have, so many Hallmark days, the Mother's Day, Father's Day, this film was done for Children's Day, right? So what we do with our clients is make sure that, we have a good content piece every now and then to, keep that momentum up, the engagement up, right? And if you look at this, so I have some stats from this particular, so this film is called Red Light. The comments were paragraphs, right? Tagging the bank, a lot of blessings, well done, thank you for, sharing an eye-opener. So this is what the power of content is, right? So I'm just showing you one of them again, and this is agile content, right? I'm not going to go into the details. Some movies were released yesterday. See how brands actually get into that agile, right? Using the right influencers. So when the pandemic hit, right, what we did was our client, Dettol, this was in partnership with one of Sri Lanka's another leading agency, Isobug. So what we did was we created a campaign which can connect with the Gen Z, right, in multiple touch points. So we used TikTok as the main platform there, right, for that particular audience we were looking at. We got some of the influencers to start the trend, and then hundreds of, organic content was created just following them. Sorry.
දෙන්නට තියෙනවා මැසේජ් එකක් තප්පර 20ක චැලෙන්ජ් එකක්
Dettol දාලා අත් දෙක wash wash ඇඟිලි අතර උඩ යට wash wash පිසිපීජ clean වෙනතුරු wash wash රට දිනවමු කරලා hand wash පිරිසිදු දෑතින් පිරිසිදු දේශයක් ගොඩනගන්න ඔන්න ඔයාලටත් මටත් අවස්ථාවක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. ඒකට ඔයාට කරන්න තියෙන්නේ Dettol hand wash TikTok challenge එක මං වගේ බාර ගන්න. ඔයාලගේ TikTok වීඩියෝ එකක් එකතු කරන්න. සමාජයේ වගකීම් පුරවැසියන් විදිහට අපි අපේ යුතුයකම මේ වෙලාවේ ඉටු කරමු. Let's stay safe and keep Sri Lanka safe.
So DICE is our influencer marketing arm. So, and there's another video, a campaign which was done for Hutch. Hutch is one of the leading telcos in Sri Lanka.
යුතුයකමකට එහා සිතන හච් එක්ක පොන් වෙන්න අත් දෙක හොදමු ලේසි නොවී මාස්ක් එක දාමුකු සුපුකූලි ක්‍රේසි වෙලා දගලන්න එපා මීටරේ පරතර තියගමු ඩේලි
So that was the example for user-generated content with influencers. And there's another example I'm just going to tell you again. We have a detergent brand, right? So they launched a new variant. So how we created this campaign? We wanted to pick a very close groups, especially the moms groups on Facebook and things like that, right? We didn't want to go big. We want to, really see the effectiveness of these closed communities. So what we did was we got, like there is, I'm sure in India also you have these closed groups on Facebook, just, with moms, housewives and things like that. So we plant our first mom who starts a conversation there saying, guys, I'm having this problem, every time I use detergent, especially when I wash my little ones, clothes, which are supposed to be done carefully, I have issues with my skin, right? So the whole target for us was to make sure that this product is gentle on skin and tough on stains, right? So the moment she starts this conversation, there are hundreds of comments saying, yes, I also have this problem, I'm also going through this. Then I get one of our other moms to go and say, guys, I tried this product out, why don't you also try it out, right? Then we have 3-4 of our moms who's part of this community, right, who work as micro-influencers for us, right? So they start, giving that, thought, check it out. Boom. Other moms sending screenshots from the shelves of supermarkets saying, hey, I tried this out, it works, very good. So that's how this whole, user-generated, content works, right? Again, amplification and use of memes. As you all know, recently Chris Rock and Will Smith what happened, and a lot of people were agilely picking up that, a lot of brands were doing that, right? And what we do is we also work with a lot of third-party community pages, so that's something as branding experts you all should do. Work with all these meme pages, content, pages who come up with, funny memes and posts. So what we do is in our agency, we have actually hired 2 of these guys and they are working full-time for us so that we pick their brains on, how to be agile, right? How to come up with, memes and, just how we can connect them with our brands, right? So these are some of the global examples because most of us, our ones are mostly in the local language, so that's what I have shared this here. So what kind of key performance indicators can be set for content marketing activities, right? So first thing you should know, content market is like farming. It's not hunting. You can't just go in and, build your brand. It takes a lot of time, but it has to be, you to sustain it very well, then you'll see high returns, right? Just like my earlier case study about the YouTube platform, Hello Ladies, right? So yeah, as I said, it takes time. And again, I'm not going to talk too much about this, I explained this, right? Getting those reactions, comments, shares is a challenge, but if you have the right content, it works. YouTube subscribers, again, I've given you a case study for that. This is the first ever video which went on YouTube. Most of you all can recall, right? 17 years ago, this is the first video which went on YouTube, right? So focus on that platform, right? YouTube is a very good platform. Definitely you have the other platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and back there we have TikTok, which is actually will definitely surpass Instagram and Facebook sometime very soon, right? Direct sales, how does that happen? You all can partner with entertainment platforms, websites, news platforms, right? If there is some sort of coverage about celebrities walking and what are they wearing, and just beneath that we used to run ads saying if you also want to buy that exact same dress, click here, right? There you go. So the product is also sold, right? We actually get the media, they have the, I don't know how do you call this here, there are sensational platforms where they only cover all the celebrities and all of that, right? So we target these media channels and we tell them, okay, when you do this, let's be agile, just share it on a WhatsApp group. We have a product here. Let's try to collaborate and try to sell it then and there, right? So that's an option. And again, data and remarketing. So all the content platforms, we gather all that data, right? And we use it. I don't know how many people of you all have seen this platform called Baby Center, right? Mostly in the world, a lot of moms, right, follow that, right? From the time you conceive, from the time you have your child, everything is there on that. Until they have advice, till single parenting, right? And if you look at the YouTube channel, it has everything, how to massage a baby for the first time, how do you bathe him or her. So much of content. And if you actually observe it, you have subtle branding for Johnson product there, Johnson & Johnson. And if you actually go to Wikipedia and check out that platform, who is the owner? It's owned by Johnson & Johnson. Nobody knows that, right? According to people, it's Baby Center, some random publisher is running it, but no one knows it's actually owned by Johnson & Johnson, right? So this is the tactics we use, right, in branding to ensure our content works, right? And these are lifelong, somebody subscribes to your channel, starts following you. That's where you get that emotional connect, and then it's up to us to sustain that, retain that, and make sure that we give the best. So that's what, because I come from media, that's what the media does, right? You generate enough content, right? And you keep your audiences hooked onto your platforms, right? So that's what we also do, as we all have to do as branding guys. Thank you very much for the time. Not going to take too long. Thank you for the opportunity, guys.